Good morning, everybody. It's me, renewing my commitment once again to do a podcast today, plus writing something a day, plus watching something a day. Um, I didn't watch the games last night because um, I had some family stuff I had to do, and also because I didn't know if I was going to actually stay awake long enough. Um, I had a feeling that Clemson was in trouble when Dabo Sweeney ranked Ohio State 11th in the poll and said that it's because they only played 6 games. Um, I had a bad feeling that was going to happen to them because, it's not the smartest thing in the world to give your opponent in a national championship semifinal billboard material. I would have pretty much ranked them 4th, maybe 3rd, and said that you would say, well, I would rather have them played more games, but under the circumstances. You don't give the team that you're facing that kind of billboard material, because when you do that, it just provokes them to do something like we saw yesterday, which is blow the doors off of you. And of course, it's not exactly a great look for the ACC because both the teams from the ACC, technically Notre Dame this year is representing the ACC, got blown out by 2 legendary programs. So, yeah, it's not exactly the best of looks right now for the ACC. But I do want to take a moment to talk about the college football playoff. I really think that when the new contract comes around, sorry, something on my teeth. Kind of made me, I don't know what that is. But I think it was something I ate this morning. But anyhow, it was, don't you hate it when stuff gets stuck in between your teeth and not, when you're talking, it gets loose and, TMI, I know. But anyhow, I think the next go-round when they have the negotiations for who gets the college football playoff national semifinals and all of that, is going to see an expansion of it to at least 8 teams, perhaps even more, maybe as many as 12, or perhaps even 16. Here's what I've always advocated. We're seeing the top ranked players who are going to go in the NFL draft skipping bowl games. And if this continues, then what's the point of having a bowl game? Actually, in many cases, a lot of the smaller programs, they're struggling, in this, and it's actually, they lose money going to a bowl game, surprisingly enough. So what's the point? Aside from having a bunch of football games during the holiday season for ESPN to show. I think it's time to scrap the bowl system for the most part. I would bring in a 24 to 32 team playoff where you would have the round of 24-32, the round of 16, and the round of 8 in the 3 weeks before the bowl season. I would say, let me change that. The first 2 rounds you'd have right after the conference championships. Then New Year's week you'd have the New Year's 8 bowl games, which would be the quarterfinals. Then you would have 3 more weeks off, something like that. And then the national semifinals would be played the day before the NFL conference championship games. And the national championship game would be played the week before the Super Bowl. So you'd have a huge festival of football. It would be, I don't know what you call it, January anarchy, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have the same ring as March Madness, but a football frenzy or something like that. where the whole month of January is basically football on the weekends. Not that it's not already that during the fall, but this would be ramped up even more. I think that you could make this more possible, more likely, by moving the start of the college football season further back to, say, the 1st of August, add more bye weeks, have the conference championships on Thanksgiving weekend, and then, in my humble opinion, I think you should have every conference champion in the Group of Five and the Power Five in the playoff, so that there is that Cinderella possibility that somebody from the Sun Belt or from the MAC or from whatever, CUSA, has a shot, a theoretical shot at winning the national championship. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think the way that I am proposing it would allow teams to have plenty of rest. You'd have more bye weeks. You'd still only have 12 games. And I think it makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. Whether that happens or not, I have my doubts, because the truth of the matter is the Power Five conferences don't want to share the wealth with the Group of Five conferences. And now there's already talk about another split, like they did about 40 some odd years ago, when Division I and Division I AA, the old Division I AA, came into existence. Now it's FCS and FBS, Football Bowl Subdivision, Football Championship Subdivision, and now you're going to have another split, which, is like Division I, Division I AA, Division I AAA. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. As for the NFL, it looks likely that in the next collective bargaining agreement you're going to get a 17th game. They're not going to add another bye week. I think that the players really should press for 18 and have 3 bye weeks. The reason I say 3 is that it allows for a more Thursday night football game, to where the two teams that are going to be playing in that game can have the bye before the Thursday night game, so you're not playing a game 3 days after or 4 days after you played a game on Sunday. I like that idea a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense, because it would allow for teams to have a longer stretch during the regular season, to where they can allow teams to have more rest days for players and such. And it makes a lot of sense to me. But I don't make the money decisions in the pro leagues and all that. And I'd get rid of preseason. Do you really need a preseason in the NFL? I don't think so. I mean, I think it makes it a lot more interesting to have players play in actual games and make those decisions. Maybe, if you really want to be hard pressed, 1 or maybe 2, and that's it. But to have 4 preseason games, they're just basically money. The players don't get paid for preseason games, if you didn't know that. It's not part of their contract. So I think that could change in the next collective bargaining agreement. I do think that you're more than likely going to see in the next collective bargaining agreement more push for player safety from the Players Association. And I think that's going to be coming very, very soon. I actually did this on the wrong podcast. I'm actually doing this on the John Thomas Hill podcast. No, I did it on the Relevant Sports podcast. I'm sorry. I'm I'm still trying to wake up, folks. For those of you who are wondering, I've actually made the commitment to do a podcast today, plus some kind of writing a day, and plus also to do to actually watch something a day, watch a TV show or a movie. The reason is to help me become a happier person. In the course of last year, hard to believe it's last year now, I've become very miserable. The whole pandemic thing has really made me a lot more angry, a lot more cranky, a lot more moody than I've ever been. And that's why I'm going to be doing these hopefully on a very regular basis. It may not always be Rutherford Sports Network podcast. Yesterday I did a personal audio blog on the John Thomas Hill Show, which is my other podcast. I'm still working on this. Basically, what I'm trying to do is to find ways to make myself better, to feel happier, to enjoy more, and not just go to work, go to bed, because that's not really living. So, anyhow, I'm not gonna have. I had all these huge plans last year for the podcast and all that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I'm not gonna make any huge plans right now. If I do a project where it's like a sports history project or watch along or anything like that, I'll probably do that just to spur the moment. So I'm just gonna do, because this is not money making to me. I don't make any money off this. This is a hobby, and I'm just enjoying this. I'm putting my stuff out there. Maybe somewhere down the road, once I kind of get more into this, I'll probably do more of an organized show and all that. But this is just basically audio blogging. So anyhow, I'm going to step away from here and go write something. Hope you guys have a great day, and take it easy. As we like to say here, good night, good luck, and may the good news be yours.